Hi everyone, and welcome to the Ingles table. I'm Caroline Taylor, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make what I like to call a poor man's lobster taco. So I got everything I need at my local Ingles, so let's get started. This is the simplest little recipe and I love it. And who doesn't love lobster? I'm a big fan of lobster, but lobster can really get expensive. And one of the things that I found is, if you've never tried it, monkfish that you can find at your local Ingles in the seafood department. And it is firm, it's a really firm white fish. It is so much like lobster, and some people wouldn't even know the difference. Now, coincidentally, I couldn't find the monkfish yesterday, but I am using a codfish, and any of those would work. And of course, you can use the lobster too, right, if you want to do that. So let's get started. This is the simplest little recipe. So what I've done is I've taken 2 loins and I've split them down the middle. You can kind of see how they're kind of long and lean, and that's just enough for one taco, and a very generous portion, if I do say so. So what we're going to do is, and you can do this on the grill and grab a couple of the skewers and just skewer them when you're out there grilling in the summertime. For this purpose, I'm going to use the stove, but either way is absolutely fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, and I do want to take a second and make sure that all the sides are covered nicely, because that will keep it from sticking, because it's kind of a wet fish. Oh, the other tip that I want to tell you is when you get your fish home or right before you want to cook it, pat it out really as dry as you can make it with a paper towel, and that will really help any seasonings that you put on to really stick, and it keeps it from sticking to the grill. Now this is just a simple, find it in your spice aisle, lemon pepper seasoning. I don't want to get too crazy with this, but I do want to make sure that it is coated on both sides. That seasoning is also going to create a little bit of a crust, and it will keep it from sticking on the grill, so you'll be really glad. And when you do your grill, make sure it's nice and clean and super hot, and then put the oil on it right before you put the fish on, and it will not stick, I promise you. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pan, and then we're going to jump right into the cream sauce. So I've got a nice hot pan. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but we want to get it nice and hot on all 4 sides, nice and brown and beautiful, and then we'll get on it to the next step. The other tip is, don't cook your fish all the way through. Get it at about 80%. The residual heat, once you take it off the grill or the stove, will finish cooking the fish, and then you've got a moist fish instead of something that can be a little bit dry and chewy, which you don't want. Now we're going to top our tacos with a cilantro lime cream sauce, and this is the easiest recipe ever. So I got sour cream, 1 cup. This is an 8 ounce, so it's perfectly portioned already. I'm going to go ahead and put that, you know what I'm going to do? Live TV, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put my cilantro in. You put as much as you want. This is not an exact science. I'm going to put probably 1 cup, maybe 1.25 cups, loosely packed cilantro, and that's nice and fresh. I got it right in the produce department yesterday at Ingles. It was beautiful. They had the regular and they had the organic. This happened to be the organic. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of salt in there, not too much. You know, you can always add the salt, really hard to take it out, of course. And I'll go ahead and put a little pepper in there since we're doing a little bit of seasoning. So let's see, I don't know how loud this is going to be on television, so I'm going to go ahead and get it all chopped up nicely. I love this machine. It's got a little clip on it instead of having to rotate them. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about there. So then you want to put the whole container of the sour cream right in here. Easy peasy. Obviously you can make this the day before. That right there. And then I want to put some lime. I do like the zest a lot in this. Makes it so much more bright and fragrant. And I'm giving a lot of tips today. I didn't plan on doing that. But I put these limes in the microwave for just a minute, just until they were slightly warm. And I tell you what that does. It helps it release the juice. And then you kind of roll it on the countertop, and then it just juices up so nicely. I've also seen people cut the limes and then try to zest it. Doesn't work. Don't do that. Zest it first. And when you go to the recipe, I got pretty specific about that because it is impossible to zest lemon, lime, or any type of citrus and it be cut. So there's that. Now I'm going to go ahead, slice my lime. My fish is doing great. Go ahead, cut side up. You get your juice in there, and that also keeps the seeds out of your cream sauce. Just kind of up. There we go. Do one more. This one's kind of tight. Maybe I should have warmed this one up just a little bit more. There we go. Now it's coming out. That is so pretty. You can smell this. It smells so good. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to blend this all up, and I'm going to check my fish, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and we finished our beautiful fish, and it's nice and brown and gorgeous. It's going to look so good on the taco because we eat with our eyes for sure. So I've got me just a nice warm flour tortilla. You could definitely leave the crunchy corn. I prefer these just for this particular application. So we're going to make this really simple. I got some bagged shredded lettuce in the Ingles produce department. I'm going to use that as my bed. Make that nice and pretty. The other thing that I did to make my day just a little bit easier, I went back to the produce department and they have all these little vegetables already cut up. I use those for several applications. I also got my beautiful salsa that was nice and fresh. It was already made. It was right there in the Ingles produce department. Easy peasy. And then I made I call it my confetti black bean salad, and I got so many of these ingredients too. Not the recipe for the day, but it makes a nice side dish. So I thought it would be really pretty and I wanted to share it with you. So we're going to go ahead and put some of our fish on here. We've got a nice loin right there in the middle, and that fits just perfectly. God, that looks so good. I'm getting hungry. Let's see, what do we want to put on next? I think I'm going to do, my beautiful, beautiful sauce. So I'm going to put that right there on the side. Oh, that looks so pretty. They even put a couple of limes in there. That came with that, which I thought was actually pretty cool. I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to get me a little bit of onion. Queso fresco. Let's try that. Let's put a little bit of that on there. This is a really nice, salty, Spanish, mostly sheep's milk cheese. I'm going to put that right there on the side. I like to keep the layers. I don't like to kind of just mush it all together because it's just not as pretty. And we do eat with our eyes, and it just makes for such nicer presentation. I'm going to go ahead, my impeccably clean hands, and I'm going to go ahead and put some beautiful red onion there on the side. And then we're going to top it off with our gorgeous cilantro lime cream sauce. I went ahead and blended that up. Look how pretty that is. It's like the color of spring and summer. This is such a great little condiment. You can put this on chicken, on fish, shrimp. It's great on shrimp, so try that. Exact same recipe, just grill some shrimp. Then I'll tell you, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of drizzle that across, and of course we're going to put a little extra in the middle of the table. And as promised, I've got my confetti slaw. Now while I'm dipping that out, I'll tell you what this is. It's the easiest thing ever. Drained black beans, a quarter cup of your diced minced onion. I've got a small can of niblet corn, and I got the same Ingles produce department, the red and yellow and green and orange bell peppers that are already chopped up. I put a little vinaigrette on top of that, and that's it. There's nothing to it. You could add a little extra cilantro. I just thought this would be really pretty as a side dish for our taco today. Really, and again, this is really good with grilled grilled chicken. I love it with a grilled chicken. That's one of my favorites. I'll leave this over here. And then we've got some extra lime that we can squeeze on the side. Let's do 2. And that's it. That's your poor man's lobster tacos. And Thank you so much for joining me at the Ingles table today, and be sure to check out the website for more tips, tricks, and recipes. And I'll see you next time.